Give me 8 minutes and I'll improve your newsletter by 88%. You are already ahead of 90% of founders if you are A, sending emails weekly, and B, have some sort of email sequence set up. Now, even if you are already sending emails, in this video, I'm going to help you and show you what top founders are doing well with email, the most important email sequences to have as a founder, and then lastly, the significance of a weekly newsletter. Some pretty common objections when it comes to email marketing. My emails are just going to spam. Nobody reads emails. My email list is dead. Very common, and I completely understand. Being a founder myself, I used to think the same thing. But first of all, to answer the first, emails going to spam, your flows are not properly set up. And I'll show you an example of what that could potentially look like once they are properly set up. Industry standards. Nobody reads them. Just for your information, industry standards of as far as monthly reoccurring revenue for founders' businesses can attribute to 30 to 45% coming directly from emails. Lastly, my email list is dead. A dead list may be due to inconsistency or inability to solve subscribers' problems, aka not providing enough value. So here is an example of a client we used to work with. He was operating at around a 35 to 40% open rate pretty consistently. His open rate actually jumped 20% just with a few minor changes that I'm going to talk about throughout this video. So what are top founders doing with email? This is PGA, Premium Ghostwriting Academy, ran by Cole and Dickie Bush. They recently launched a webinar funnel, and I'm going to break down the overall performance as a heavy amount of email was used to promote this webinar. So first of all, over 1,000 people, live attendees, attended the webinar. There were over 150 calls booked post-webinar, driven in part due to follow-up email sequences. As I mentioned earlier, there were over 1,100 attendees on this webinar, driven in part, again, by also having a warm email list. Jumping a bit more into the enrollment metrics, there were over 25 enrollments and 8 deposits into PGA that likely were assisted by email campaigns. There were over 150 sales calls scheduled. Lastly, the email follow-up. So they were running DM ads converting into trainings via message, but those almost always link to an email capture training sequence. So as you can see, in every single part of this sequence of their promotion, emails was involved. And as a kind of quick reminder as well, PGA is estimated to be around $2,000. I actually think it's a little bit more. This is on a low end. 25 people enrolled. They made at minimum on a low end $50,000. Okay. So what were these emails? All these emails I mentioned earlier, what did they look like? How can I copy it and replicate it for my own business as a founder? First of all, this is email number 1, free AI writing masterclass. This is just promoting attention and saying that they are launching a webinar. Simply put, he included a couple of different links, which would tag the audience member who clicked the link and put them into a bucket, basically tagging them. This person is interested in the live masterclass. Once the link was clicked, you're prompted to this page where you can click save your free spot. And once you entered in your email, phone number, and name, you were then prompted to this screen, which just says your spot is confirmed. And you could also even book a call in advance if you just want to start paying for the service right away. Additionally, we were sent an email that looked something like this. And it is just trying to get you to RSVP by clicking this link right here. Now, once you RSVP'd, you were then prompted to this screen, your spot is confirmed, and it added the event to your calendar automatically. You were also sent an email to RSVP, and simply if you click this, it would then tag you as someone who RSVP'd for this live webinar. Now, there were a couple more emails sent regarding getting people to RSVP. There's about 2 or 3 total. And same idea here, it's just trying to get people to RSVP, trying to get as many attendees in this live webinar as physically possible. Next up, there was a 10-minute reminder, and the Zoom just opened up, trying to add some urgency, spots early before capacity hits, trying to get everybody in there. And he even included a little bonus to even incentivize people. Next up, see you in a bit. This is again a 10-minute reminder for this. And he's also mentioning that there may be limited spots. So just keep a heads out on that. And again, join ASAP. You don't want to miss attending live. They may reach their Zoom room limit. Same idea here is 10 minutes before. And a boom, we're live email then gets sent once the webinar is live. And there's a Zoom link, same idea. You're trying to get people to join as fast as possible in mentioning the urgency, that being there is a Zoom room limit. Lastly, as for the follow-up, once the webinar was concluded, there was a long email sequence, maybe 7 to 8 emails. I'm only going to include one, but one being a recording of the webinar. Couldn't attend live, want to watch it again, you could simply click this, and as a result of clicking this, you would then also be added a tag, which would then segment you into someone who is interested, who attended the webinar, and may potentially later down the line be interested in buying their masterclass. So just to summarize everything, first things first, they started with webinar announcements. They did paid ads on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X, and of course, email, which is what we are talking about right now. The email nurturing begins with the goal to sign up. Again, and this is just letting them know we're hosting a webinar. You should check it out. And this was a total of 3 emails. The goal of this is, yes, sign up, but it is a volume game. You want to get as many people into this funnel, into this webinar as physically possible. The next stage, the next goal is to get them to RSVP. You want a legitimate head count of how many people are showing up, and we did this through they did this through 3 emails. Next up was building hype. They were giving away prompts, lead magnets, all sorts of things to show that this is going to be a banger and you don't want to miss it. If I'm giving away this good free stuff in here, just wait until the live webinar. And that was done in roughly 3 emails, but there were definitely more. Lastly was scarcity. This was used by mentioning limited spots in the Zoom room, and it may fill up fast, so keep a heads up on that. And that was a total of 3 emails as well. So just as a reminder, there were over 1,100 people that attended this webinar, and it was in part due to the fact that they had a warm email list engaged. And again, 150 calls booked post-webinar, driven in part by follow-up email sequences. Just to wrap things up, a lot of founders are missing webinar sequences, abandoned product sequences, abandoned book a call sequences, newsletter sequence, lead magnet sequence. The list goes on and on. This is missing revenue. And over at Akari Social, my marketing agency, I help founders build out their email systems and turn their followers into revenue on autopilot. You can even try us 1 month free. We are very certain that our systems will absolutely work for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Trey, and we'll talk soon.